90.3 FM. I call it the strong, the bold 90.3 FM, giving you information every time of the day. Welcome to Matters. My name is Jude. It can be Jude. And of course, today is the 16th day in the month of January 2024. Of course, before I get to introduce my guest this beautiful afternoon, well, abductors are on it again. They've killed 2 young victims, and of course, demanding 700 million naira ransom for 9 others. And aside that, kidnappers have moved from the expressways to Lagos, Ibadan, Ogun, Abuja city centers. Now, what am I trying to say? Let me give you a breakdown. The surge of abductions, which has strangulated social and economic activities in the northwest, has spread nationwide as bandits and other criminal elements have moved their operations into the major cities across the country. Now, the hoodlums who hitherto operated on highways and in rural communities have in recent times escalated their attacks on residents of Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, and other urban centers. The killing of 4 abducted victims from the Sagwari Estate layout in Dutse, Alaji area, Buhari area council of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, ignited a groundswell of anger yesterday as the bandits who kidnapped 7 family members demanded 700 million naira for their release. A lot more. Now, as of last night, the remaining 5 sisters, including Najiba, a 500 level quantity surveying student, and Naira, a 300 level zoology student, are still in captivity. Well, this happened Friday. The hoodlums had on Friday killed Nabiha, and Nabiha is actually a 400 level student and a student of biological science, Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, over alleged delay in providing the ransom, granting a fast storm of anger across the country and even on social media. A lot is playing out. Bandits, kidnappers, hoodlums, a whole lot. But then, let me quickly introduce my guest, a former commissioner of police. CP Chooks is here in the studio. A very beautiful afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you and to the listeners.
Can you say that again, please?
Good afternoon to you, Ikame Judy, and to the listeners.
Okay. CP.
Yes.
You are a policeman. Once a policeman, always a policeman.
Not in doubt.
Exactly. All of these kidnappings, all of these abductions, and we hear of hoodlums ravaging every part of the country. I mean, it's an eyesore. It's like Obanyangbo will call it. It said it's a pitiable dismal pisma, And according to him, he said it is regrettably lugubrious that in a country where we're supposed to be talking about security, and then we're talking about insecurity. Now, to break it down, they've now entered the city centers. Abuja is now like a free-for-all. They go in and come out. Lagos also. They've left Lagos, Ibadan to the city centers. I mean, Port Harcourt is another one again. I hear some persons are blaming Wike. Instead of looking into Abuja, he is busy fighting Rivers issue and all of that. But let me leave that Wike. Let me leave all of that because we'll have a lot to talk about. But then, CB, the security or insecurity issues in Nigeria is alarming. I mean, it's getting to another level. What do you think that the federal government is doing that they are not doing? What do you think the federal government is doing or is not doing that they're supposed to be doing? After all of the promises, where are we?
To be very frank with you, is a very serious issue, and it calls for concern. And as far as security is involved, it is not an issue only for the government. It is an issue also for the citizens. It is a collective responsibility, both for the trained security officers and personnel, as well as members of the public. Members of the public are stakeholders to security. But my worry is that the citizens are handicapped. They have a limit to whatever support or contribution they can make. They are not trained in bearing firearms, and as well, they are not trained in how to pursue or engage armed bandits, whether in an unarmed combat form or in a combat form. Therefore, it is expected that the public needs to be sensitized. This is no longer an issue that you say that you don't need to disclose to the public. Come out and tell the public the problem. At all levels, national, state, and local government levels, for everybody to know that we have a very serious issue that touches everybody, and that the roles that are expected to be played by each of the components I mean is a civil population, the one that the state actors are expected to play, and even the politicians and the ruling class are also expected to play. What do I mean by that? For the citizens, intelligence and very credible information is what is required of them. Nothing more than that. But at the same time, they need to be protected in giving such information and intelligence so that they don't endanger themselves. Whatever information they should give, maybe they should be enlightened. They need to be educated. That when you see, you don't keep quiet. Pass the information as fast as possible to the appropriate agencies and authorities to work with. And if you feel that passing it to anybody, any personnel will endanger you, you find your way to the peak within your area of responsibility. Go to the Oga. That's what I'm trying to say. Let me break it down in such a way that they will understand. Go to the divisional police officer in that area, or go to the commander of the military who are doing IS operation in that area. That is, I mean, internal security operation in that area, and tell them these and these are the things you're seeing. These bandits, terrorists, and hardened criminals are human beings. They are not spirits. So whatever move they make in the forest, those forests are communities. They belong to people. So the people cannot say that they are not seeing them pass. They see them pass. So why would they keep quiet? If they keep quiet, it is part of compromise, for goodness sake. When they see them, they ought to pass information to the appropriate authority that we are seeing very strange people passing here. And it's like they have camp somewhere inside the forest. Sometimes we see them, they will move livestock, maybe some goats or cattle, to go and slaughter, because they have to eat now, to energize them to continue to perpetrate the nefarious activities. So they see them, they go to markets to go and buy foodstuff and things to keep them going. Do you mean that the communities are not seeing these things? Unless they want to tell us that they are part of the criminals or the criminal gangs. Otherwise, you see, like those who are Christians will always be, when they are preaching to us, they'll tell us that heaven help those who help themselves. So if you want to have relief, you need to help yourself as concerned citizen. So,
well, first of all, we talk about not helping ourselves.
Yes.
Because several times Nigerians have said, hey, let's help ourselves.
Good.
Tell the government, let's help ourselves. Well, government will tell you, no, leave this thing, for the government. Leave security.
No, I don't think so. It will be an irresponsible government to come out and say that you leave the whole thing for them.
But why is it that government has not been able to do anything to at least stop all of these nonsense across the country for years now?
I am coming to that. I'm taking it step by step. I've started with the citizens. We need to educate the citizens, enlighten them, sensitize them, increase their level of awareness that, look, for you to have peace, for you to be able to enter that your green area and till the soil and do your farming and survive and subsist in your various environments, you need to have peace. So if you fold your hand and wait for the peace to come at your doorstep, you're wasting your time. That is the education you should give to the citizens. Then when they are fully prepared and fully aware, they'll carry this information and take it to those who work with it. By the time these criminals have been localized and located, geolocated, and decimated completely, it will send a signal. Because those men of underworld have a way of communicating to each other. So if they succeed, they are more emboldened that we have entered, that we have conquered. So others will now have the temerity and strength to begin to come in. Okay, if we are to move to Abuja now, let me give you a bit of scenario in Abuja. I worked in Abuja, and I worked at the force headquarters in Abuja. And I worked in the Department of Operations. So we used to have our briefings, and apart from having briefings, we used to do operation orders to manage security, not just for Abuja, but for the whole of the Nigerian nation. And I'm speaking from position of authority because I was a commissioner of police right there at the force headquarters. So I cannot say that I'm oblivious of certain facts and certain information. And being somebody who always take cognizance of the geography of the area I function in, I was able to identify Abuja as a place that have about 5 major exits and entry into FCT. One, if you're coming from Kogi,
the Abaji,
you pass through Abaji and Gwagwalada inward Abuja. They call that one Southern Express Road, that they later named Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Expressway. That's the major way. Then those coming from the North Central and the Northwest also use Kaduna. Those coming from Mina use Kaduna, come to Zuba and take the Northern Expressway into Abuja, and that is Zuba Kubwa.
Day
is an off, but that axis right into Katampe and A1 or AY, whatever they call it. That's the second one. We have a third one coming from the Northeast, North Central, Plateau, Nasarawa, and all that. Kaduna. They come through Masaka,
Maraba
Nyanya, and all that, and enter Abuja. That's the
third one.
That's the fourth one.
The third.
Or the third one. Then we have the fourth one that is not very popular. You pass through this Dusi Alaji I'm talking of now, where it happened, to Buhari, where you have the law school, you have WAEC.
Oh yeah.
You have the dam. You know, the dam that supplies water to the whole of Abuja. And from there you enter to Kaduna. You start going to Kafanchan and so on and so forth.
Through Ushafa.
Exactly.
Dutse Alaji.
Exactly.
Ushafa, that way.
Exactly. That exists.
Okay.
And these are the major points you come through into Abuja. And if you look at these key areas, you always see military checkpoints and police checkpoints watching the roads. In fact, the forward operation base of the Guards Brigade, which is supposed to be guarding the presidency, are situated on Lokoja Abuja Kaduna Expressway. They have a station or a mini barracks on that road. Then for those coming from Nyanya, Mararaba and all that, from that direction of Plateau, Kaduna, Nasarawa, they have another military base very close to Kefi. You know, if you're going to Jos, is there, well positioned. So you can see that these positionings has helped in watching the roads. If you're getting my analysis, we are talking of only the roads. But we are not talking of all those hills surrounding Abuja and the valleys and the forests. Those places are not policed. And that is why they were able to go into Kuje, did a jailbreak, and went away unchallenged, and up till now, still stories are still flying. How did they come? Were the authorities not informed, and so on and so forth. Anyway, that one is another discussion for another day.
All right.
What I'm trying to say now is that around those hills we are talking of, there are so many farming communities, those hills and valleys surrounding Abuja. Sometimes, if you are doing that Buhari road, you see some Fulanis with their cattle grazing. The same applies to coming in from Gwagwalada through Abuja University to Airport Junction. Left and right, you see heads of cattle grazing, and you notice presence of Fulanis. But the thing is this: the question we have failed to ask ourselves is that all those communities where you have all this pasturing taking place and all that, has there been any efforts by either the security agencies or the appropriate authority, FCT administration, going into those communities to get them together and talk to them from time to time?
Okay.
That is one key area that is of concern, because if they had been sensitized, I don't know how those people will come, stay around that Dusi Alaji area without being noticed. Their presence would have been noticed, that there are some strange elements either behind the hills or in front of the hills, because as soon as you descend those hills, you see estates that sprang up over time. And that is one of the estates that they quietly went in, did what they had dastard act, and went away. Because if they had raised this alarm, it is now left for the armed forces and the police to do the needful with the DSS. In fact, they would have put in the intelligence component to move in and do Reiki and find out whether such a thing is the truth or not. They've been doing it in the past and busting some of those criminals. There was a time they were targeting the law school, sometime either 2022 or so. In the operation, some military personnel lost their lives, including commissioned officers.
Yeah.
They got the information and they went to do Reiki. After confirming the information, they moved for an operation, in the general area to do kind of clearance operation. By the time they got to the place, these bandits had their camp. They had left. You know that they are never steady. By the time you're coming, maybe somehow information get to them, they move out from the place. They had left. And the military continued to comb the bush because they saw signs that people would have been staying here, had a kind of mini camp, but that this camp has moved. Let them get to the end and see the direction. They never knew that the people moved further in and were watching their movement and communicating to themselves. So they just ran into their ambush. And it was heavy firing between the two sides. And the idiots suffered their casualty. And the army chased them. What really slowed the army down was there was a river around that area. And they had these tanks that could not cross that river. So the tanks had to go back to locate a way to cross to the other side. And it required time to do that. Before they could do it, with the men on foot crossing the river and continue to comb and look for these people, they had entered Kaduna, some entered Plateau, southern Kaduna anyway, and Plateau State, and went away. But they really made an impact and really showed these idiots, Pepe, that it is not easy to come into Abuja, because you come into Abuja is like poking your hands in the nice eyes of Mr. President. That is his domain. So I thought that lesson that these idiots were shown that time would have served as deterrent for other insurgents and hardened criminals in their various gangs. But it came to show that that was not the case, that maybe they were emboldened. So what am I trying to say? It is time they need to go back to the drawing board now. And it has to be spearheaded by the National Security Advisor's Office, NSA's office. He has to get all those involved. Who am I talking of? The police, the army, the DSS, and to an extent civil defense, because they have their armed squad too. It's not everybody in civil defense that is armed.
Of course.
They is trained to bear firearms. Then when they get these four agencies, either collectively or in their different cells, they will need to bring in the Air Force for air power and area surveillance, so that some of the areas that the terrains are too difficult to access, if they get sufficient information that the idiots are in those areas, they can from the air degrade them completely, clear off that place and get it out of existence. But at the same time, in so doing, they should make sure that they don't make mistakes to go and bomb areas where some communities reside.
Okay, now we'll come back to that. But closely related to that is the fact that Shaibu Abubakar Audu, Minister of Steel Development, has said that the federal government is planning to start producing military hardware at Ajaokuta Steel Company. Producing military hardware.
Well, that is a political statement as far as I know and as far as I'm concerned.
Wow.
The reason being that
he said he wants to start producing bullets and tanks and other military hardware.
Wait, let's start from the basic. Is Ajaokuta functional now? That's the first question we need to ask him.
Of course, they want to do something about it.
Let him do first. You see, some people, because they are politicians, they just open their mouth and say anything that comes. Maybe they are carried away. They talk what are not practicable. Can they show us one product, even if it is reinforcement? What I'm talking of is what they call rod. Even if it is reinforcement, can he show us one that has been produced from Ajaokuta since they set up that plant? Let him show us. Let him take the press and other stakeholders round the so-called Ajokuta complex and show them what the complex is capable of producing. Then we will now move from that level to talk of producing ammunition and producing military hardware. You shouldn't be making political statements and think that Nigerians are fools, that if we just say anything to them, we'll buy it hook, line, and sinker.
Well, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said that the space of kidnappings and insecurity in the country were being filled by abject poverty and hunger.
But that is part of it.
Okay. That's not all.
It's not all.
Okay.
It's not all. It's not only poverty and hunger. Some of the masterminds are rich, they are not poor. When somebody is demanding for 100 million, talking of 700 million, the thing is that the government has not really started the war against these bandits to the extent that some of us will be convinced that they are tackling it headlong.
But
even the international community will not be viewing us seriously. You know why? We have spent billions in doing NIN as well as BVN in banks, and somebody will give you a bank account and at the same time use a phone number to call you and tell you to go and transfer money into that account, and money will be transferred as ransom before the victims will be released. And you tell me at the end of the day, the owners of the account have not been arrested, and that from the phone that has been used in calling you, or the phone lines that have been used in calling you, with the NIN tied to the various telephone numbers, you have not been able to geolocate where the bastard is calling you from. Is that which reason are you going to give me?
Okay.
That means that what you have done is a scam. But that both the BVN and NIN, they are not working. And you have collected huge sum in billions to tell us you did such a project for the good of all Nigerians, and for you to convince the investing locals and international people or the multinationals that you're serious about guaranteeing security for them and security for their investments. So this one is a basic one, though. They need to give us an answer. When I was looking at Ale Pantami or whatever, that prof, who was Minister for Digital Economy, he was the one who spearheaded Issa Ale Pantami or whatever is his name. So what did he then do? Because the NCC, National Communications Commission, happens to be under him as the Minister for Digital Economy.
Of course.
Yes. Then what did they do that I can now begin to make phone call and give you an account number where you go and pay in ransom? It has graduated to that level. Not a question of, okay, bring the cash, come and drop it at Onibombo, or go and drop it in Jakonde Estate in a salon. And when you get there, stop at so and so point and drop it there. It's not like that again. Or go to Ikorodu or Badagry at so and so bus stop. We are waiting there to collect. It is an account that is given in a bank that is existing in Nigeria. So what are we talking? That means the lapses are too numerous that the government needs to do something about it. Something very drastic if we know we want to tackle this issue of insecurity.
This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I will take your calls, but hey, you have to relax, all right? Let's talk. Let's give you all of the updates that you need, and then we now open up the studio lines and see you can be part of the show, okay? All right, just stay there. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude, and of course, this is Matters. Matters. All that matters just right here on VOP 90.3 FM. Well, what we will do this afternoon is maybe first of all open up the studio lines, and let's see how we can get to relate with you, and as we forge ahead, okay? Because there's a lot to actually talk about. And in case you don't know, Tinubu has approved 3 billion naira for National Social Register verification. And this is coming from the presidency. I bet you want to understand what that whole thing is all about. Yeah, you just stay there and we'll get to talk. All right, so just stay there. VOP 90.3 FM now. 0700 903 903 903. Okay, that's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. We're talking insecurity first, and then if you're just tuning in, just stay there. CP is also going to help us understand what is actually playing out, like what it means exactly. What the Tinubu's move is all about. I'm talking about the social register verification. We hear that the president has actually approved 3 billion for national social register verification. Like I said, the CP is going to help us understand. But before that, let's do calls, and of course, I will also read your comments. Okay. On WhatsApp 0700 903 9039. That's our WhatsApp number, 0700 903 9039. And then if you want to call in, you're free. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. All right, move away from your radio set, keep it very, very civil, make it 60 seconds, and we're just beautiful. Thank you so very much. 0700 903 903 903. All right, let's begin here. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jude. Ikami Jude.
Good afternoon.
And the guest there, CP Chooks. Asaluchi, sir.
Good afternoon to you too.
Yeah, my name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanajan, Ikosun.
Welcome.
Yeah, I really empathize with Nigeria and Nigerians on what is happening as far as insecurity is concerned. It's very unfortunate. And this has also affected our direct foreign investment. Because this is one of the reasons why investors may not want to come to Nigeria to invest. It's very unfortunate. However, I'm of the opinion that what is happening, that is something that is eating the leaves under the leaves, as Yorubas is saying their own proverbs. So I believe there are some fifth columnists, even in the military. You know, they are supporting the efforts of Nigeria's security organization. You see, if gold could rot, what will iron do? This is one of the proverbs. And this is one of the reasons why I, for once, supported the former president, Buhari, because I felt that he was a general before becoming the president. So, but in view of that, we saw, or we Nigerians are of that belief that it could not curtail terrorism or insecurity in Nigeria. Now it has come to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that's the reason why I made this proverb that if gold could rot, what will iron do? But then we have to support Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and if Bola Ahmed Tinubu has to make history, he has to face it squarely, because I believe that government people, they know the fifth columnists among them and even in the security gathers. Oh. Remember what Jonathan said during his own time, that there were fifth columnists even in his own cabinet. So I strongly believe that a good government who wants to eradicate insecurity in Nigeria must be very, very radical in that approach and must say them clearly, no matter whose else is God. You know, because even United Arab Emirates, they sent Ireland, and it is being said today that they sent about 400 people. The list of 400 people who are counseling insecurity in Nigeria during the time of Buhari. Buhari could not do anything. So please, we have to help ourselves. You understand?
Thank you.
Concerning Patani did say that the military is culpable in this because they are not using NIN, which is very, very true. And the military has not come to debunk this. So that's why we in a school of thought is saying that there's street colonists and saboteurs within the military. You understand? So let me give others a chance. Otherwise, I would have gone into.
I appreciate you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. From Abawojo. Thank you so very much. 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, that's the number to call to be part of the show this beautiful afternoon. But then if you want to call, try to move away from your radio set. Okay? Let's do here. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon here, Kamigide.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is C2, calling from Freetown. Good afternoon, Mr. CP.
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you very much. I just want to say something. So Nigerians are some of them are hypocritical human beings. I just want to say something regarding the guy that said he voted for Buhari because he's a general. And I think he voted for Tinubu again because he said he's going to continue from where Buhari stops. These are, when I say some of them are hypocritical human beings, I know what I'm saying. He said to you that he's going to continue where Buhari stops. What do you think is happening now? What I'm upset about the whole thing is that I have to quote Abacha that any insecurity that lasts for one day, the government knows about it. That is his word, not my word. And my annoyance is that the innocent ones are falling prey of these kidnappers. There is none. You can never hear that any politician child or son or them themselves that are responsible for this insecurity are falling prey of these people. It's just the innocent ones. Why can't these politicians fall prey about regarding this state that they created by themselves? They won't, because they know exactly what they are doing. They just want people to run away from the country and leave the country for them, but it's not going to happen. Citizens must raise up and and demand for what belongs to them. People will dress as a soldier, go in where people live, and took them off and send them to the bush and start asking for millions. In this time of this country, whereby everybody is struggling to make a living, and everybody's watching as if nothing is, as if it's just normal. Somebody will, in fact, let me tell you something. If they come, when we speak, we know exactly what we're saying. We're not coming here to say because just to say no. This is exactly what they want to replicate in the southeast, but we say no. We know exactly what they want to do in southeast. I am telling you the truth. Sometimes when we speak, allow us to say what we know. This is exactly what they want to do in southeast. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so very much for talking to us. Appreciate that. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Judy.
Good afternoon.
This is Anthony calling from the country.
Anthony, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, CP.
Good afternoon to you too.
Judy, you see, the reason why most people, in fact, almost all of us, like CP choose, and will keep doing his fans and Mr. Darlington, because these are the people that say the truth and say the fact. You understand? You see,
yeah.
Everybody, this country, everybody, we are not happy. You see, starting from this BVN. These people, they are, in fact, they are scammers. You see, the reason why I said so, 2015, when they started this registration of NIN or something like that, this NIN make me, I lost a very good contact home and abroad. That MTN I'm using for my business, they broke that line. Nobody could even reach me in my business. Till today, nothing, that insecurity, they did not even find one single person that even behind all this criminal. And they collect money to transfer to the bank, and the bank cannot even. In fact, bank, believe me, banks, they are cool, they are more these criminals. I'm telling you.
Right.
I'm certainly I'm with what the character these people are displaying in this country.
Thank you.
I'm telling you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your call. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Tend to transfer to bank. Bank cannot even. But if it is a layman in the street that collected that 1 naira from somebody, bank officials, bank manager, they must track that. Okay,
right.
Let me tell you. Last year, I have a friend.
Your time is up. Actually, your time is up. Thank you.
In fact,
it's okay. I understand your pain, but take it easy, okay? Hello. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my bro. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Your name, your location?
My name is Remy. I'm calling from Tottenham.
Oh, Remy, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been, bro.
Yeah.
It's great to talk to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You see, I said it. Never in life should anybody use Lagos as a parameter through which you measure intellectual competence. Because every so-called high achiever in Lagos have gone to the national and failed. Fashola, Kayode Fayemi, Aregbe, now their father Tinubu is in charge. Look, the point we are, don't tell me they do not know all these things we are saying. Why is it that they do not have the will to stop this bloodshed? I don't know if it was you I spoke with the other time. This insecurity can only be solved. The factor that makes gun something that Americans want to have, the Rifle Association, they are the big dealers of guns. And that's why you can never eradicate this killing in America. Because the business aspect of it is what we need to look into. Who are the people making money, cashing out from this proliferation of harm on our streets? So for me, I think the governors need to wake up. They need to be aggressive. If you want to expect anything nationally, you will just be wasting your time. Now, lastly, Nigerian electorate, APC messed the country up for 8 years. And the electorate do not really make them feel there is consequence for failure. You give them third time. And that's why they are taking you for granted. Sure, Tinubu is helpless. It's so sad to say. You need to look after yourself, defend yourself, regardless of ways or means through which you do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling. Appreciate your call. Yeah. I think it said, is it Spain you mentioned? Remy, is it Spain you mentioned? I'm not sure. But then, let me read this message. Oh, no, before I read that, let me take this call first. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, well done, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Ijeoma from Abuleba.
Welcome. 60 seconds, please.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate all your efforts there. The few things I want to say, sir, is this. Yesterday, I was going through the social media, and one of the Israeli ambassadors was reporting that the people that are being killed in the Plateau State and all over Nigeria here is even more than what Israel has done in the Palestinian world here. Now, what I want to bring out is this. Why is it that our president, they find it difficult to declare state of emergency and all these wanton killings happening in Nigeria? And the question I want to ask is that, does it mean they don't have the conscience to do that, or what is their problem? Because the bloodshed in Nigeria is too much. I don't think, in short, there is something they are hiding that they do not even want the common people to know.
All right. It's okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling.
Okay.
Appreciate
God
it.
bless you, sir.
Yeah. Check your time, 1:52 p.m. And when it's 2 p.m. on a dot, we start talking politics. A whole lot to talk about. Decided to talking security first, then we delve into politics, political issues, big political issues in Nigeria right now and as we speak. Now we understand also that there is a possibility of a merger. All right, Pat Utomi is hitting us today that there's a possibility of a merger between Atiku Obi and of course Kwankwanso, to form a mega party that will oust the ruling All Progressives Congress. And aside that, Rivers State is also there. Like I told you, a whole lot to talk about. As I said, let's talk politics, okay? A group has tackled Wike's ally, for insulting Fubara. And then you should also know that the pro-Wike commissioners have faced fresh screening to rejoin Fubara's cabinet. Fresh screening, you can imagine. And of course, the APC has replied Utomi's mega, party idea. And it says that the party will end as news headlines. Okay, a whole lot to talk about. But then, let's see if we can take 2-3 more calls and we wrap up with this section and we move straight to talking politics. And I know that will interest you. Don't forget that we're streaming live on all of our social media platforms. That is at VOP 90.3 FM. VOP 90.3 FM on YouTube. So just go there. You can share the conversation with your friends. Yes, your friends, your loved ones. Just share so people can join the conversation right now. In case you're just tuning in, I have a former commissioner of police in the studio helping us dissect all of these issues one after the other. And for me, my name is Jude Ikame Jude. Like I said, I'll take 2 or 3 more calls and then we move straight to another segment. Okay. Good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
What's your name?
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Amadi, calling from Brazil.
All right, Mr. Amadi.
Yeah, thank you for all this information you are giving us. You know that Jesus and Tammy was an enemy to America because there was a time America nation against him and nobody cares about it. And if you watch during Buhari regime, the invested Arab Emirates mentioned list of people that are behind this Boko Haram and federal government refused to deal with them. And remember what Abacha said, that any problem that are happening within 24 hours, that the government knows about it. And why are we hiding ourselves? Remember when Jonathan was ruling that the army chief of staff wanted to deal with these people. Jonathan Eder started crying that look at the Jonathan, look at what you people they do to the East. They know that the what they do to us is evil, the Eastern people. So all these things we are hiding under, I don't want to say, we will say, Nigeria don't want to tell themselves truth, and the Northerners don't want to tell themselves the truth. That is why all these things are happening. I look for the federal government now because it's helpless. Because if I tell you that they don't know what is going on, they know all these things. People know all these things. It's helpless now. So for my own advice now, the military, all the security base, you have to go back and remove their distance and to make people that are army, police, addresses, because they're all over there now. This Boko Haram, they're all into DSS, the police, army, and air force, and all of them, they are there. Even the government, they are there. So this is a very difficult situation that Nigeria is now. So I pray that they will go overcome it by the grace of God. Thank you.
All right, thank you so very much. Let's do more calls now. We still have 3 minutes. All right, to take more calls. Don't forget, you can, if you are listening to us outside the country, 0700 903 9039 is the number you should call. That's our WhatsApp number. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. I salute you, sir.
All right.
So, what I'm trying to keep in this is, concerning to what is happening about the security of this nation. You can understand that during the time of Jonathan, there was a senator that made statement that they have Boko Haram within their means. And in fact, some of the senators bounced on him. They were not happy with that statement. Secondly, when the military were out to face the Boko Haram, the first president made statement that the people are being killed. Thirdly, this very person now that they said is the vice president, there was a time we had the news that he was eating and dying with Boko Haram. Then how do you think this insecurity will end? Let us start clapping for Tinubu for helping that man to be there and accepting him as his assistant. May God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for calling. All right, check the time is 1:58 p.m. already. All right, we're going a very short break, a very, very short break. And when we come back, we talk more. Like I said, get others involved this time around. Let's talk politics. But later on, you might still want to, participate as regards the insecurity issues. All right, but now let's change the gear. I know you like it. Stay there. My name is Jude. Ikami Jude.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogusanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
It's about that time for this conversation.
We want to know what the public has to say.
Your voice.
Fuel subsidies removed.
My voice. Our voices must be heard.
As far as I'm concerned, it's not helping the society because the way things are going now, everything has gone up.
For current news and daily updates, trends and vibes, vital information and more. Tune in daily to the best radio station. VOP, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, Lagos. Now you have a voice. Speak.
Now, welcome back. Political economist Professor Pat Utomi has said that the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and the one of LP, Mr. Peter Obi, and even the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, I'm talking about Rabiu Kwankwaso, have agreed to form a mega party that would wrestle power from the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in 2027. Well, while he was asked if Atiku Abubakar, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and Peter Obi and Oke Nwosu have agreed to come together, Utomi simply said, yes. That was what he said. On what name they had decided to call the coalition, Utomi said, well, we are not talking about names yet. Besides, these politicians I mentioned, I'm talking about leaders of social movements, the labor movement, and so on. He went forward to say, I have even been part of creating a new tribe. Nigerians who are committed to certain values, who say, I will not give a bribe, I will not take a bribe. And you can then create a set of values that can lead to progress in the country. Now, CP, merger or no merger, will anyone be able to oust the ruling of Progressives Congress come 2027?
You know,
I'm being direct now. Like, I'm hitting it straight.
Yes, you know where I laughed is that merger is a very serious thing. It's not just like the APC told the opposition parties that the thing may end up being headline news. They know what they are saying because in the past, during the Second Republic, they were talking of the PPA, Progressive People Alliance, that would have encompassed Nigerian People's Party, Unity Party of Nigeria, Great Nigerian People Party, and People's Redemption Party. At the end of the day, the thing could not click. Everybody. And as they were saying it, the National Party of Nigeria, we are laughing at them, MPN, the ruling party. They knew that they were not going anywhere with that type of merger because it is a merger occasioned out of bad belly, more or less, if you want to use that word. That because they want to come to the center and taste the pie, that is why they are thinking of how to pull down the ruling party. Now, we saw the end of the Second Republic on 31st of December 1983. Then we experimented the Third Republic of Ibrahim Babangida, IBB, between 1991 to 93, 17th of November 1993, when Abacha came and scraped the democratic structures, both the NRC, the SDP, as well as NEC that time. He got them off the track and started his own process, that died with him on the 8th of June 1998. Having said that, when we came for the Fourth Republic, everybody came out. We had the PDP. We had the Alliance for Democracy, AD, dominant in the Southwest. PDP was all over the country. We had ANPP, scattered in the Northwest and the Northeast. At the end of the day, PDP grabbed the power and sustained it for 16 years. That was the first time we saw merger work. How did it work? When the proponents of that merger worked in tandem, the merger that metamorphosed into APC worked in tandem to weaken the internal mechanism of the People's Democratic Party, which was the ruling party. How did they do that? First and foremost, the political wizard called Bola Ahmed Tinubu had been able to, first and foremost, he left AD, created a party called Action Congress, AC. He was able to win Lagos, putting Fashola there as the governor of Lagos to take over from him. Okay. Then he had been able to enter the Southwest to recapture power from PDP in places like Osun, where Rebbe Shola won through the courts. He was able to get back Ekiti, where Otumba Oni was pushed out and Fayeme took over the place. He was able to get Edo, where Adams Oshomole pushed out Professor Osumbo. So you can see, he was even able to cross the Niger and almost took power from Peter Obi, if not for Ojukwu. Ngige came second in that governorship election, and Ngige ended up winning a senatorial election in Anambra Senatorial District from ACN, because the party later grew and he changed it from AC to ACN. So by 2011, he removed a sitting governor in Oyo in the person of Otumba Adebayo Alao Akala, whose godfather Adedibo had already died. So made way for him to remove a sitting governor who just did one term and brought in late Ajimobi, Senator Ajimobi, to do his full 2 terms in Oyo State. So you can see that he had consolidated the Southwest, and he waited for Otumba Daniel Benga to finish his second term in 2011, and he took over Ogun State, where this man, who is now a senator, what's his name again? Ibikunle Amosu became the governor. So Asiwaju had positioned himself well and saw that he has collected the whole of Southwest.
Okay.
I'm talking of 2011, preparing for 2015. So he now said, okay, to get this 2015, we will not do this fight alone with only ACN. Let us collapse ACN and form a mega party. Let's bring in Muhammadu Buhari, because this man has been winning the whole of Northwest and Northeast, getting nothing less than 10 million, between 10 and 12 million votes in the 2 blocks in all the elections, using ANPP to do it in 2-3 and try it again in 2-7. And again in 2-11, he came using his CPC. So they said, let us bring him in. They brought CPC, brought his ACN, brought in AMPP, as well as a segment of ABGA. P2B didn't join. It was Rochas Okorocha, that being the sitting governor of ABGA in Imo, joined the APC. They now collapsed their structures into one and became very formidable. And people were saying that this is a collection of strange bedfellows, that there's no way they are going to win any election. They can't win the ruling party. Then they did another master stroke. They went and created a lacuna inside PDP, whereby PDP toyed with what we call internal democracy. They did not do primaries for 2015 election, which now brought resentment. They said there was no vacancy in Aso Rock, that they have already given Jonathan ticket to move on and go and win the election. Now, 2 things worked against Jonathan. That failure to observe internal democracy that made both Atiku left, Bukola Saraki left, and carried his governor in Kwara into APC. Megatakada Wamako, governor of Sokoto, left PDP and joined APC. The last governor of Sokoto, who was Speaker of the House of Reps, also joined the APC. Moritala Nyako, governor of Adamawa State, equally joined the APC. Then the present vice president was then governor of Borno State.
Of course.
Under AMPP, he joined the APC. Then Rotimi Amechi was finishing his tenure from PDP in Rivers. He also joined the APC. So you can see how formidable the party became. And then 2 people were sitting on the fence, and they lost woefully for that. Somebody like Babangida Muazu, governor of Niger State, he was neither here nor there. He was saying, well, I'll join, I won't join. In the end, he even lost senatorial election in Niger State. 2-term sitting governor of Niger State. Then Lamido, the governor of Jigawa State, was also sitting on the fence. He was neither for PDP nor for APC. He was saying, I'm ready, I'm coming. Sule Lamido, that was how two of them lost out. And that was how they trounced the sitting president out of that place. And then they now used another propaganda against him, that he was completing tenure for joint ticket of himself and Yaradua. And that after finishing that, power should naturally go back to the north. So the Northwest, Northeast bought into it. And immediately they went for the election. The margin was too wide that Jonathan quickly conceded and handed over power to him. And then they now had bandwagon effect to the extent that the sitting governor in Kaduna State, who took over from Patrick Yakowa, who had just finished the tenure for Patrick Yakowa, lost the election to El Rufai, who came in as governor. So it had bandwagon effect that APC was taking over everywhere. They took over Adamawa, took over Bauchi, took over so many places. In fact, they moved the position of their governors from about 12 governors they had totally to almost 28 governors as at that time. It was even the time Abaka Audu won the election in Kogi, but died before the declaration that made the present man to become governor in that state.
Of course.
So what am I saying? They knew the whole tricks and all the loopholes that one would need to tie, to be able to wrestle power from a sitting government. And then you think they will go and sleep and relax and allow the so-called opposition parties to come together and wrestle power from them. It will be very, very difficult. The time they would have had that opportunity has crossed. They would have used the mess perpetrated by the Buhari's 8 years to have done that in the 2023 election. But when they missed that opportunity, these were wiser, they've learnt more. So they are going to wait for them for that 2027 and make sure that even like what happened to PPA in 1983 will repeat itself in 2027. At the end of the day, they will set them against themselves, set confusion, and everybody will go his own way and come to face them in the general election. And they will still coast to victory, mark my word.
So what you're trying to say is that the ruling party will not want to register any political...
No, they can. If you want, they will register you, but let them come and perform, let them see. Because they are masters in the game. They knew what they did in 2013, 2014, and used it to move into 2015 election confidently and wrestle power from the ruling party. And then you want them to make that mistake again. They will never make that mistake.
Is it about political calculation, like you were trying to analyze now, or is it because they have the country to themselves, like they have the who is who in the country, they have all of the positions, they have all of the persons in positions, they have everything.
They have everything working for them, and they are already working on that template. Because if you look at what has just happened, they have already posted.
They have the INEC, they have the judiciary, they have
everything. They have
the military, they have everything.
They have even appointed electoral commissioners, state electoral commissioners, to go to states almost 3.5 years to the election. They have posted and removed all the key people that were there. So you see that there are things. The only thing that will save the opposition is that I remember in 2013, Honorable Justice Uwais committee was set up, and they made a very strong recommendation about some institutions in Nigeria. And one of those recommendations, if I can remember vividly, if I go and do my research, I think I can lay my hands on them, was that to appoint the chairman of INEC and the state electoral commissioner should not be the prerogative of the president. It will be something that will involve all stakeholders, so that at the end of the day, the institution will be totally independent. Not a situation where the president and commander-in-chief is seen as the alter ego. If he appoints all of them, what do you expect? I mean, they will just come out and tell you what they want to tell you and tell you to go to court. So these are the areas we will look at. And even Olisa Abakoba recently said about even appointment of justices of the Supreme Court. I picked two things from his recent analysis. He said one, during Ababio's 61st birthday, they brought him in to talk. So he spoke at length.
He spoke at length.
I took out time to listen to his analysis and discourse. He said in Supreme Court they have formed themselves into a cult and a mafia group, that there are two areas in appointment of Supreme Court justices. One, when it comes to administration of justice is different from appointment of justices into the Supreme Court. Administration of the justice means the principles of law. He gave it to them. He said, no, that one, nobody should be an intruder in how they administer justice, because they will do it based on principles of law and all that. But when it comes to appointments of the justices, it should not be allowed for them and the NJC. It should be such that some other people will get involved, whereby people from outside who are qualified to be made justices of the Supreme Court, who are legal practitioners that have put in nothing less than 15 years, can apply. And then they will be considered on their merit. Not a situation where it is a court thing. Just few people are allowed to be there. And when those people are exiting, they bring in their own people, either as their wives or their children or relatives or very close family friends, to replace them. That if you keep that vicious circle, we'll still have a long way to go. So these reforms and recommendations are very, very necessary and key for us to deepen democracy come 2027.
So it means if elections were to be conducted today, you see the All Progressives Congress emerging, the winner.
The opposition are too weak and cannot withstand.
But we're talking
them.
about three strong forces. Peter Obi, Rabiu Kwankwaso,
yes,
and Atiku Abubakar.
They are coasting on different platforms, on different wavelengths, and I find it very difficult for the three to come together and form one party.
You mean they can't understand themselves?
Well, that is what I'm trying to say, because number one, the ruling party will make sure they keep dividing them. They'll bring in Machiavellian tactics to keep dividing their houses. They'll put moles amongst them and continue to destabilize them. That is politics for you. You see, politics is a game of intrigues and antics that you have to bring in to dislodge and disorganize your opponent. Anyhow you do it, so be it. Because what matters most is that the end justifies the means. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they will still do everything possible to destabilize anybody coming together to say we are forming, because they have gone through that route before, and they knew the way they navigated the thing and got the PDP out of power. So they will never allow anybody to do that and succeed against them.
Yeah.
In fact, like in Igbo land, they'll tell you that those who know how to use the machete to kill will never allow machete to come behind them because they are very, very watchful. So that's what is playing out here.
Here, the response of the All Progressives Congress. The ruling All Progressives Congress has dismissed Professor Tomi's proposal for the formation of a mega party by 3 major opposition parties against governing party in 2027 as mere wishful thinking. That's what they said. They said what Utomi said is just wishful thinking, you know.
And you know why they are saying that? You see, the ruling class or the political class, whichever name you call them, they are so comfortable and they're in their comfort zone, and anything that will cause them to be displaced will not be acceptable or tolerable by them. They are ready to spend whatever, because the resources they are spending is not theirs, it's public funds. They are prepared to spend and make sure they dislodge anybody trying to come in to enjoy the spoils of the office. And come to think of it, there are very few number of people who, very few percentage if you want to compute it statistically.
But with power.
But they hold the power tenaciously and they don't want to let go. You know, you can imagine when it has degenerated to the extent that even a local government chairman will be going with convoy, with bulletproof vehicle, with escort, left and you want him to get off from power. It's not possible, no. Worst case scenario, if he finishes from that local government, he'll go to House of Reps. And they have their way, their modus operandi to find their way in. He'll go to House of Reps and sit down there for some time, like Femi Gbajabiamila, who was there for almost 20 years. One way or the other, it's a game of resources speaking, and they'll be going back. If not that Remi Tinubu became the first lady, she had done 3 terms there, she would have continued to be a senator. We have seen many of them like that. David Mark stayed there for like 20 years, from 1999 to 2019.
20 years?
Yes, 20 years in the Senate.
When I hear that, I just marvel. Like, I look at
what
it.
Of Lawan? Though he's quiet now because he knows that a lot of people are waiting for him. Because Rocha Okorocha asked him one key question when they were winding down the 9th Assembly, that all of them were in Ego Square, running against Ashewaju in the presidential primaries. How then himself and Ababio, who was also a contestant for the presidential bid, come back to red chambers? That it baffles them. It baffled his imagination. And Ekunife, senator then, was laughing uncontrollably in the assembly with some others. Rocha said that he would come to them to give him the formula and teach them how they were able to file 2 nominations, which is unlawful for you to file for presidential and at the same time file for senatorial. How did they do the magic? So these are things that will tell you why people will sit in power and they will never want to let go.
Hear what Comrade James said. He said the merger won't work because Tinubu will do everything possible to get the second tenor, while the merger will not engulf with fashions of the 2 major gladiators, thereby defeating the purpose of the merger to favor the ruling of Progressives Congress come 2027. Then, okay, let me put this aside now. I want to get back to a particular story that relates with that. Or I think let's take calls. Let's take calls at this point in time. This phone won't burn. All these people don't. The calls are just too much. Seriously, let's just take calls and see how we can manage our time. Really, 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp 0700 903 9039 is the number to call, and move away from your radio set. Keep it civil. 60 seconds for everyone. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Jude.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, DCP.
Good afternoon to you too.
60 seconds.
Yeah, this is Remy from Akoka.
All right.
I beg to differ with some of the points CP made concerning having opposition.
Okay.
With the opposition being in charge of the electoral process, will they be in charge of the judiciary? Let's use the last election as a case study. We saw what happened in Rivers State, for example. Few days ago, one of the PDP chiefs made it clear that Labour Party won the election, but they wrote the results. So what do you expect the opposition to do in that kind of case? To pick up guns? When they were asked to go to court, they went to court. What happened? Look at Plateau State. Look at how they treated a pre-election matter concerning the lower court and the Supreme Court. What should the opposition do? They've done the rightful thing by coming out to campaign and their vote only for the system using the judiciary to work against them. Look at Lagos State as well. The only way the election went the way of APC was because of what the violence they used on that governorship election. We saw what they did. They tried to use tribal card, it didn't work. They tried to use the Oro of a thing by using the Yobas and Palace. It didn't work, only for them to met out violence on that election day, using MC Olom and the likes to threaten people. So in that kind of case, what do you expect the opposition to do? When they've done all the needful, they've gotten the vote they wanted, but the system has been skewed. So saying lack of opposition wasn't why the election went the way it went the last election. The system was used. We saw that. So and we can't spin that narrative. We saw what happened. We saw what judiciary did. The case of the presidential case, they told us they've taken new evidences before, but in this case, they won't take new evidences. So what they expect the opposition to do? To pick up guns and lead a protest? They've done the rightful thing by campaigning, and they got their votes only for the system to be used against them. So saying opposition and all that, that is not the reason why the election is going the way it went. Look at Kogi State. Results were already available before the election started. So what should the opposition do? There are so many cases like that across the country. So saying the opposition wasn't the reason why election went that way. It was the system. The incumbents used the system against the people. Okay. And there was nothing they could do. They couldn't pick up guns. They were asked to go to court. They went to court only for them to be disappointed by the ruling of the court. Plateau State, for example, and so many other states like that. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Okay.
Yes, well, I'm in the same line. We're on the same page. So okay. I don't see where he say that.
Yeah, of course. Hello, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon.
My name is Ajimba.
You have to move away from your radio set or turn down the volume before you call. The echo here is not really friendly at all. You won't understand. Okay? Thank you so very much. Do that and call back, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kame Jude.
Welcome. Quickly, please. 60 seconds.
Once my name is Peter Osipo. I'm speaking from Abaranjani Kotu.
Right.
I salute your erudite guest. For me, people should not play God. 2027 is still very far. Those politicians is just like 24 hours, but it's still very far. We should not play God. But if we are to go by what the economy says, that is ceteris paribus, all things being equal, then I will support your guest, CP Chooks. Because I support his analysis 101%. It's very, very correct. But to go further, you see, during the last election, presidential election, 2023, all forces, even in APC, were against Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
You know, even Atiku himself was very complacent because he thought that he was going to be another Tafa Balewa of Nigeria, but he failed woefully. You see, all forces were used against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even the presidency. It was at last that probably he succumbed to the northern governors who were, Buhari succumbed to the northern governors who were supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But be that as it may, people were even saying that Buhari was the unifier of APC, that immediately released power, that APC will scatter. But as you can see today, the centripetal forces are more than the centrifugal forces. What am I trying to say? People in APC and who want to join APC are more than those people who are against APC as of today. So that is why I'm saying that I supported your guest 101% in his analysis.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless
Thank you so very much. God bless you too. And here, Chima from Surulere is saying, it pains me that Nigerians are so quick to forget. The issue of merger is not the problem. I remember vividly that many political parties protested at INEC Coalition Center, but Mahmoud Yakubu promised a review. And then what happened? Okay, hold on. Promised a review, but Mahmoud Yakubu, promised, but went ahead. No, I want to take that again. The issue of merger is not the problem. I remember vividly that many political parties protested at INEC Coalition Center, but Mahmoud Yakubu promised a review, but went ahead to announce a result at an unholy hour. If nothing is done about INEC, do not expect better electoral process in this country. All right, it's okay. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome.
I see pictures.
Welcome.
Yes, this is Tony Chicago.
All right.
Good morning to you, Tony.
My take is this: the merger is the only solution. Why did I say this? Before Tinubu come to the power as the president today, if I will tell you, if he has about 100% supporters, I think by now he has lost like 40 or 50. Because unless, that's my clause, things turn around. The Nigerian masses have been pushed to the wall. Those that voted for Tinubu, that percentage he had now are totally, half of them might not even look at his side the next time. If this thing continues this way, that's why the emergency of the merger thing will be the best. As for the system, the system is corrupt, but there's one overwhelming victory. You cannot change it. Where there's overwhelming victory, you cannot change it. So that's what the system can work, where there's average or slight victory. System can now work. But when there's totally overwhelming, that everybody is sick, everybody knows this is true, I don't think it will. The government will APC will win if they change the turnaround on the economic situation as the security of Nigeria. That's why they can win. But if the thing remains this way as it stands today, CP is supposed to know that people that voted for you, some are regretting. Even the Northerners are regretting so. Do you think that someone like Erifai is happy? So I think he had lost some Northerners and lost some of his town people that thought he would come to be a messiah. But let's just wait and see. I pray for the nation to be good, because it's good for all of us. But if it remains this way, 2027, believe in me, the merger will take the victory. Thank you. That's my take.
Thank you so very much for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You can be there.
Welcome. Welcome.
Calling you.
Hello? Oh. Your network, right? Please do call back if you can, as quickly as possible. Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Captain.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm this Sito speaking again. I just want to say something. If these three to march together, I want you and CP to throw like, who's going to be the presidential flag bearer, please?
I'm still coming to that.
I was even going to that.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
We're coming to that.
We'll come to that.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to ask that.
Yes. I wanted to go into it, but I said let's take it step by step.
Well, CP.
Yes.
How easy do you think this will be?
Okay, now let us assume that they end up coming together as a coalition and forming a party. Who is going to be the candidate?
Okay.
Will Atiku and Kwankwaso, sit back and allow Obi and say, since it is the turn of the South and Ashwaju has done 4 years, do the other 4 years. Would that be possible? That's $1 million question. Because that's the only fair thing they can do if they have a merger. But because of their selfish interests, each of them will Atiku will say, no, age is no longer.
Atiku will still want to run.
Yes, he will say that age is no longer on his side. And the man, Kwankwaso, will also say, yes, that he's also adding age. Let him also do, even if it is one term. And that was what was going on between Awolowo and Zik that made the PPA collapse. And Unity Party in 83 went its way, and Nigeria People's Party with Zik went their way, and Shagare won again.
I hear somebody say Obi should take the lead, and then Kwankwaso from the north should become
his running mate. Is it workable?
Vice president.
That is the question.
Because from all indications, everyone has been saying that, well, power is returning to the north.
Yes, after 2031.
And so if that happens, then it means power will go to the east.
Well,
before 2031.
East is still part of South. So if they are talking of conceding to Obi, then maybe that would make sense. But are they ready to do that? Because to them, they are looking at their age. They still want to get, even if it is one term. Just like Emiloko, it is my turn. Atiku also wants a turn, even if it is one term. And Kwankwaso also wants a turn.
At least to compensate for all the
efforts. Efforts spanning from 2007 till date. And then when you look at the geopolitical equation, it will not tally at all, because the South have not finished enjoying their 8 years. You know, based on the political understanding and arrangement.
Wow.
So these are the factors that we have. And the ruling APC know that such issues will crop up. So they will fueling the thing underneath. They will be fueling and be encouraging Kwankwaso not to agree. He should demand to collect the ticket. Then some people, fifth columnists, will go to Atiku and tell him, look, age is no longer on your side. Try to grab it. Don't give Obio. And at the end of the day, the whole thing will scatter like a pack of cards. You know? Which is very unfortunate. It has not come, but we foresee it coming. Let God give us life.
Some persons will tell you, let Atiku go and just sit and play the father figure, right? And lead these people, Obi and Kwankwaso, and maybe settle them, and let's see which of them will lead. But now, again, some persons might be saying, well, if you say put it before Obi and Kwankwaso, the person who can pull better, you know, and has done something before and it went, you know, really heavy is Obi. The only person who can really do and overdo and everybody like, hey, yeah, this man is there, is Obi. That it's not Kwankwaso. So Kwankwaso can take over the VP.
There is one analysis I read that gave me worries and concern. The analysis came this way, that Buhari, being a Muslim from the north, did 8 whole years. If the present president, being a Muslim also, does 8 years, that means we are talking of 16 years for the Muslim Nigerian to be the commander-in-chief and president. Then how are they sure that when it goes back to the north for the last 8 years, that they will allow a Christian from the north to take the ticket and do the next 8 years for the north from 31 to 39, which is not possible, you know, in parentheses. So that means Muslim Nigerian had been in power, or Muslim Nigerians have consecutively been in power for 24 years. What message is that one sending to the Christian and non-Christian populations who are non-Muslims in Nigeria? It's setting a very dangerous precedence. I read the analysis. I said, look, this man is making a very serious and cogent point that will look for a way somehow to adjust this thing and allay the fears of the Christian Nigerians.
I listened to some persons who say that they're actually waiting for Peter Obi's response as regards this merger. What Peter Obi has to say.
Well,
because this is part of Tomi coming out.
Yes.
And we already know that Atiku has been talking about a merger. Is it to merge these two guys again back to the PDP? Because, of course, I hear people say that Peter Obi might get back to the PDP. if he really wants to run, and be successful.
No, you know what made him to leave in the first instance was when the signal was very clear that they were not going to give him the ticket. That was why he moved to Labour, and Labour embraced him.
And he has gone out to show his strength, and they might want him back home.
Let me tell you one thing. That strength was not really P2B. Okay. It was reaction to the ruling class, the political class. It was reaction by the masses, the workers, the youth. They wanted a change at all costs. That was what demonstrated itself. That was why Obi was not spending money. They were not interested in his money. That was why they were saying he does not give shishi because he does not have. He's not contaminated. He's not polluted. He doesn't have public funds to throw around. We will contribute what we have and install him there. So that was a warning signal to the ruling class that they have overdone these things. Because if Obasanjo could leave almost 60 billion for you in foreign exchange, how did you mismanage the economy to the extent that now we are owing 89 trillion to foreign and local investors, financial institutions, and you still want to hold on to power tenaciously? Anyway, like one of the callers said, we leave everything to God. God is the owner of life. Nobody knows by peradventure what will happen between now and 2031 and 2027. Let me leave it at that.
All right. He's going to leave it at that, and then we get to the phone lines quickly. Let's see if we can take calls in the few minutes we have. So it means if you are calling in, please just go straight. Hit it, pam, 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 pam. Just ignore hailing anybody or greeting CPU. They just, my name is, and hit it. Okay, we have a few minutes to go, and I want to take as many calls as possible. So try and just help us. You can even say you want to do less than 30 seconds or less than 60 seconds. We'll be very, very happy. Okay, so let's go there. 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp 0700 903 9039. All right. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. I want to commend your guest, my honorable commissioner, for saying it as it is without missing any word. Ordinarily, I think it's less to say, because sometimes when you find about the whole situation in Nigeria, and you begin to wonder how you just get too tired of it. For my own case, I think just like you said, based on calculation, I think the three major parties should be ready to sacrifice. Probably if any of them should just sit back and just nominate somebody from neutral background contest, maybe then people may actually see their sacrifice and go for their major party. But without that, I should be seeing like another puzzle, coming up in the next election. And on the other side, if you ask me, if Muslim teachers will actually be fielded, and they won, then we should not be talking about where you come from. I think the calculation, with the merger should be about winning. Now it's obvious that nobody cares about where you come from, your religion, or where what you do. It is about the political calculation. So if we can field anybody, from whether it's an Abalist or a Christian, whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
I think all right, thank you.
Thank you. Let's leave it there. Like I said, let's take as many calls as possible. Okay. So, hello.
Yes. So just let me go straight to the point.
Yeah.
My take is this. I think between P2B, Atiku, and Kwankwaso, this is politics. And it comes to what will it come on the table with. The person among them that has a lot to come on the table for winning should be Atiku, because PDP coming with PDP. They have the governors and they have the watchers. Nigeria government is not by sympathy. Like our Tinubu said, he grab it by force. By force, it means not only taking it and running away for it. There's the watchers. You have to invest money. So the way we talk about is P2B has problem to come for him. That he has a headache. How will he convince his masses? Because I believe they will not give it to him. He will only take a VP. Well, I think Atiku might be going for it. Maybe reconcile himself with P2B. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
So that's my intake. I think
Thank
that
you.
will be my goal.
Yeah.
My good one.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. We appreciate you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Quickly, please.
Please, I'm Hope Eric. I'm calling from Lagos. What I'm trying to suggest is that you see what happened in Kami when they feel out from people, they know that if they took this decision, that something wrong will happen. When we voted President those days, I thought that these youths would have taken a nasty decision. But when you come to power, you see that, like what they are marching now, because nobody will agree for another person. That is the naked truth. Because if as the elderly man in the politics, he can never allow Obi to come over. Likewise, the person. So they will destroy themselves, because when it happens, they will see that nobody will give each other a chance, and APC will take over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate your call. What should the oppositions do? What should the opposition do if 2023 election repeats itself in 2027? a $1 billion question.
Real billion, not even $1 million. It's $1 billion question.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Kamajide.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Evangelist Godwin, calling you from Okao.
60 seconds, please. Quickly.
Yeah, I've been listening to analysis of Chief CP and the other analysis he said about Muslim to rule for 24 years. Well, it's only God that have answer to that in Nigeria. And the other areas opposition to come together, as far as I'm concerned, except God predestined that it will not go in that way. Nobody will collect power from Jagaba, from Tinubu, as it is now. He had already won 2027 election, has put everything in order, what he needed to put. He has put it down already. There is nothing anybody can do except God said it's not going to work in that way, which I don't want to go. I don't want to mention what matter. That is the only way that can stop them. If not, nothing would have to.
All right. Thank you so very much. Yeah, the only way that can stop them. The measure is needful, but I am still imagining how it is possible, because Atiku is a pride. Are you trying to say prideful?
A proud.
I don't know where you want to say proud person, and that cost him last election. While Peter Obi is the candidate of the masses, Atiku's pride may not allow him to step down. Kwankwaso has been his popularity in the last election, or has seen his popularity rather in the last election. He will step down this time. Finally, giving it to Atiku will be out of pity. Let's wait and see. Festus from Alakbere. Okay. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, so sorry about that. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, I just want to say something regarding the selection.
All right.
The only thing that can stop him is not God, it's the youth. The youth has the power to stop him. If only they cannot bring tribalism, I'm from here, so therefore it's our turn to rule. These people, some certain ethnic groups should be killed. They're not allowed to be voted. But if the youth comes together, the youth will stop them. God will never come from heaven, nowhere to come and stop these people. It's the youth. Have a look what is happening in Chad and Mali. Nigeria should stop deceiving themselves. The youth have the power, but what are they going to bring to the table? Divide and rule. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 0700 903 903 903. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How's your work?
What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Samson, and I call from Motion.
All right.
You're talking about the idea issue. Abi?
Hello?
You talk about the idea.
I don't think I understand what you're saying. All right. I don't think you're... Okay. Thank you so very much. Okay. More calls now. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kamijude.
Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Talk to us quickly. 60 seconds.
Yeah, CP, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you too.
CP, I think I would disagree with some of your analysis based on that coalition and coming together. That because APC, they came together in 2020, that's why they took forward. To my own understanding, I can tell you that the reason why they were able to achieve that was because Yar'Adua died. And good luck was a political orphan. Had it been as good, Yar'Adua is not, I don't think APC without that opportunity. And if anybody is talking about merging together, except something is done with INEC, nothing will happen. Even if the whole world comes together against this president, they cannot achieve it. Because now they have the INEC on their side. They have the judiciary on their side. They have the security agencies on their side. So there's nothing they can do. Except the only thing that can solve it, let the youth rise up and take back their country. That is my contribution. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. CP, I want us to go back to that. Okay, Remy from Makoka is saying, until I hear from Obi himself, I'm not going to take the major plan serious. You and CP are yet to answer my question. And the question is, what should the oppositions do if 2023 election repeats itself in 2027? Okay, that's what he asked.
Well, there's nothing they can do except to leave everything to God. Because are you going to incite, like one caller analyzed, are you going to incite the youth to enter the streets and burn down the nation? The answer is capital no. So all you do is to be prayerful, do your best, and hope that...
vote and defend your vote.
Yes, and especially pray that those reforms recommended earlier, like the WAES committee, and all that they should be acceptable and be worked on.
Vote, not even vote and defend your vote, is vote and make sure your vote is counted.
That's another thing.
And make it count.
That's another thing.
CP, we have to go now, but this is going to be the last one. The last one. Okay? Oh, it went off. CP, it's time to go. It's time to go. Oh, my body is pushing me to take calls, but my time is up. Really. This conversation. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, quickly, please. Less than 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you. I listened to your analysis. You said Nigeria is doing about 80-something trillion. Wow.
Yes.
So someone like me, I'm doing like 400-something thousand naira for something that I don't know about. Wow.
Yes, you're owing, my brother. You need to pay.
There's a problem.
Go and look for money. Thank you so much, CP. It's time to go. 2027 is not far.
Politically.
At all. It's just here. We'll talk more, okay? We'll talk more tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. My name is Jude Ikami Jude. A lot of my head. Like, I just don't know where to. On Instagram, check out Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. And let's talk. On Facebook also, my page. Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. One word. Thank you. I'm out of here. Good afternoon.